Not on video yet. Can't see it. You can't see you.
Yep,
Now,
now I can,
if you're moving. The owl's tracking you.
and I'm gonna start recording now.
Sounds good. Calling to order the village board meeting for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Caleb Garn present.
Chris Duval present?
Chris Marina present.
Brandon Crone present.
Donnie Kern present.
Jessica Player present.
And let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have a brief announcement prior to any agenda items. We will not be convening into closed session due to the recent resignation of our village president, Ryan Seacard. Approval of agenda.
I can make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Marino, second by Dubek. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion passes. We will now open up for public comments. 2 minutes per person, 14 minutes per topic.
Hi, I'm Kathy Nuss, 453 Charles Lane. I'm here on behalf of the Somerset Champions Council, and I just wanted to touch base on the agenda topic of the branding initiative that's very, very far down on the agenda, so I really hope you get to it tonight. This is my third or fourth time coming to talk about this. My first time was exactly 2 years ago tonight. So I'm really hoping we can get some movement on this. I have been working with Jessica Plord, and by say I mean I've been working with her. She's been doing all the work and then bouncing her ideas off of me. So I don't want to take any credit for it, but she's really worked hard with the stuff that Becca had presented. She took that design, she enhanced it, she worked with some of the color schemes, worked with some of the graphics based on the tools she had access to, and she made it ADA compliant. In addition to that, she introduced a new tagline that we haven't seen before that I really love. So I'm hoping that you like it as well. This is really important to the champions. If you think back to when we did our CAP project and we talked about community pride, we talked about the importance of branding and how it impacts how we see ourselves as a community and how others, potential businesses and potential residents see us. And as Caleb puts it, it makes us look buttoned up when we're well branded and we have a professional appearance. So I just want to support what Jessica's done. I don't know that it's going to get me better. If you don't like what we've got to present tonight, we would ask for some really concrete direction on how we need to change things. And then let's just get this done. We've got a lot of wayfinding sign, the flags, village signage, all of it, the water tower. We've got to make a decision. So please consider supporting our efforts this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? There was a bug crawling over the.
I saw that.
That super freaked me out. Wow.
I'll get it called me.
Yeah. Go back.
All right, hearing no other public comment, we will close public comment. moving on to consent agenda, is there any items that a board member would like to pull from the consent agenda?
He's killing the.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
Correct, word, Steve.
Their motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Brandon Crowe make a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Crone, second by Chris Dubek. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Brandon Crowe, I'll make a motion to move, oh shoot, it's an unfinished business. Can I still move that up? I'd like to move 9D up in the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Now moving to unfinished business 9B. Gotta find it.
I guess I'm gonna start, because I thought from where we started to where we are now, I love that this one page. I love the tagline. I never was really a huge fan of the old tagline. I like this, where the Apple River runs. So I really like what we come up with here. That's my only feedback. Really great job, Jessica and champions.
Yeah, for
Came a
sure.
long way.
I would agree. I love it. I think it's great.
I do as well. I'm intimately aware of all of the work that has gone into this. So I'd like to hand out some personal thank yous to Kathy Ness, the champions as a whole, Becca Whitlock for kind of kickstarting this whole thing, and then our own member Jessica Bird for helping to get it across the finish line. I really believe that we as a board should adopt this as our official logo and move on with lots of other work relating to it.
So move.
So
I think that should be defined, who is going to be working on what, maybe not at this point.
yeah, I
The
think,
village staff hasn't been involved. And I would assume that we're probably gonna be doing the work. So,
Well,
Can I say something?
public-
So we would, the champions would be willing to take this work and kind of create a strategy and implementation plan, a budget, a timeline, all of that. We've talked about that from the very beginning. Certainly, we'd be happy to work with Jessica on all that as well.
So basically, this is just,
is the champions funding it? Everything?
It depends on what, not the transition. I mean, there has to be a transition plan, right? From the old logo, digital, print, all of those types of things. We have a rough plan right now, but will probably it's gonna be a public-private partnership. The flags will probably raise money for those. The wayfinding signs, I'd imagine we're gonna have to raise money for that, also work with the township. So,
but really right now, this was adopting at least the color scheme will get us kicked off on any signs that we need to order. So like, we've got a sign where some signs we're waiting to order for Public Works, and then for like painting the water tower. So we have the colors at least picked out now, but I think that was the immediate need. But I think as far as, rolling it out, short term, long term, we'll have to figure out how we're gonna actually roll this out outside.
Okay.
I think the motion is to approve the the proposal that's put in front of us as far as the new branding, right?
Yeah, as far as our new village brand and.
Right.
I guess if a motion were put forth, I think it's wise to, if we are in agreement, to adopt this as our brand and then work with the champions and our board to determine a rollout over time.
So we can put that on. as a potential.
I think the board, if we adopt it, and then the champions will be working with the village as far as the rollout to come up with a proposal back to the board.
I think the champions would be more than happy to do that.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Second. Do we already have a motion?
I don't think an official motion was put forth. So Donnie, you're,
My
define your
motion-
motion, please.
My motion is to adopt the current branding proposal and forward to the champions for a plan to be provided back to the village board as far as implementation.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. This one deserves a round of applause. Thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Want this up on the summer session.
I would suggest too that maybe be put forth on the village website, just to say this is going to be our new brand going forward.
Yeah, I think it'll be a slow implementation, but this is a 2-year mountain that we've just
Yes,
traversed.
agreed.
Can't wait to buy some new signs.
Exciting stuff. Well done, everybody.
Great work.
Moving back to the agenda as presented would put us at new business 8A, discussing possible approval of water village sewer bills.
The bills that were put forth from Farner, is that for the microsurfacing of the Main Street?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? This is Bob.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, for their prep work, we did pay them for that. And then the
Okay.
rest of that project's gonna get postponed until next construction season, unfortunately.
Okay, so that's not gonna happen this year. That's gonna be in the spring?
Presumably, yeah. So I'd ask to get on their schedule right away.
Yeah, Donnie, that was as a result of a surprise exit closure that the county sprung on us last minute. So we didn't think it'd be a great idea to be sending all that traffic through downtown.
I just want to make sure that our costs aren't gonna go up going into next year, because we're delaying that project another year. And if it is, we'll have to look at that again.
Yep, I asked if the cost would come in, and they assumed it would, but I said I'm gonna need to know if they come in inflated.
I go down. That's also a petroleum product. Petroleum, as we all know, is going down.
Make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
motion by Kern, second by Marino. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion passes. Discussion, possible approval, A1, Weld Riley statement invoices.
So I'm a little bit at loss on this because I did ask before when the original bills were presented that I'd like to see the communications that were stated in the bill that showed that they billed us for communications to the village trustees in an email, which I have never seen. So I didn't know exactly what we're paying for. And because I've never seen any kind of email or anything to that effect. And that was the original bill that was dated. I have it right here. Back in June on the 19th.
I have not seen it either, Donnie.
So
And
is there a chance that we can table this until we see these communications that are presented forward? Especially this Main Street zoning matter that was put forth for $504. None of this is, I was hoping to get answers tonight at this meeting when this was on the agenda, and due to the situation that is brought forward by what has occurred prior to the meeting, I'd like to table this until we can at least get some more answers on the matter. I'll make a motion to table it.
there's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion?
My only question is, this is so we had approved a portion of the Weld Riley bill before, and there was like a 400, I thought there was like a $400 balance. This is a bill that came in, it looks like 10-9, so this is in additional cost to what was before. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay,
I had reached out to Weld Riley on 9/16. And we got billed for that, asking for some explanation of the charges. I have yet to receive any answers.
Is that the
Then,
bill that,
yes,
I'm sorry, is that the bill that that was reflected here on that date is by you asking about the charges? Excuse me.
My bill was $72. Then we received another invoice from charges from in August regarding the Main Street zoning matter, the 260 Main Street. And
There was a portion of that original bill that was not approved to be paid.
right, it was like $400 or something, right? Or-
So originally there were two bills. There was the special counsel matter and then there was general business. The general business one was not approved to be paid. A small or a portion of the special counsel bill was approved to be paid. So there was a remaining balance of like $700, I believe. Then there was the general business, 400 and some dollars, and now there's a new charge of 72 for debt coverage now to them. And then new charges for a new matter.
A new matter.
Why are we receiving bills from an attorney that we're not even we haven't approved to utilize, other than in this one situation of that was approved back in December?
good questions.
Okay, so I guess we're still in
They-
discussion.
they-
We had, the table was on the table. I have no further comment at this time.
Just to clarify, to the rest of the board, the $465 that was in front of us from the invoice dated July 10th isn't even on this matter. That was with email correspondence with village officials regarding pending development matters. I don't know if that's the Main Street zoning matter, but it doesn't even match with what the original invoice was. And then there was a $324 charge from April 11th and May 16th that was another invoice dated June 19th for $324. Again, doesn't jive with anything. The big one though, Brandon, to reference what you were saying, that has come down from that special counsel matter. And that was the amount that I went through and itemized everything and said, this is what I feel is legit, and made the motion for. And that was the balance of that is what I think they're trying to claim and bill us for the 756. But somebody needs to really explain this a little better to me and before I'd be comfortable voting to approve it.
Any further discussion? Motion to table with a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Table.
MTI distributing.
8B, MTI distributing quote for Toro Samco 5040.
So this came forward, on the recommendation by the staff. So we've been using the Tool Cat mostly for all of the dragging of the ball fields. As a result, that piece of equipment is tied up a great majority of the day. That is also the piece of equipment that they need to use the most for most of the work that they do. So in order to free up the Tool Cat, so the guys can use it for something else, they came in with an option for this groomer. It's kind of like a three-wheeler, sounds like, more or less. We do have room to store this barely, but this came under recommendation from the guys for us to become more efficient and then be able to drag those fields, and that will be pretty much only what this is used for.
There were some other uses, weren't there? Bob, were there other uses?
Yeah, they say they.
This is pretty exclusive to all the fields that we have to drag in the summertime.
And the fields will be adding. We'll be able to move it. It'll be mobile to all the other fields when we get them up north, the new TID.
Correct.
Not there yet.
It's just trying to free up a piece of equipment that we have some struggles with, because sometimes that's out for 4 hours. 4 times a week.
So, Mr. Chairman, to Bob. Are you able to utilize this possibly for in winter months for handling any kind of snow or anything like that?
I don't know that. If there is a use for that, I know there's not a cab on it, so it's open air, so they would be in the elements. They'd also be in the dust with the ball fields, so I don't see a practical use for it in the winter time, but there may be.
Is there a chance we could look at one with a cab that we could utilize both in the winter for handling the plowing of the sidewalks and stuff like that, and then also in the spring that also could be, if there's raining, they're not in the elements?
I certainly can do that.
I mean, I don't know what the cost would be on that, but is that something that maybe we might want to be, that way we got multifunction, it's not just sitting all winter like the lawnmowers are.
Right. Yeah, I can happily look into that for sure.
How much would you see, Bob, if we were to repurpose this for winter usage? How much use would you really see for this? I mean, you're not gonna be able to move snow with this. This would be more or less just a sand spreader or salt spreader.
I don't know that it has much capabilities. I mean, this is basically a bunker rake for golf courses that the majority of municipalities use for their ball fields. So it's got a tighter turning radius, and it just works out.
Specialized piece of equipment.
So it can't really be outfitted then?
I don't believe so, but I don't want to
Okay.
answer that without knowing that it can't be outfitted. I don't have that information. And this is fine to table this. I'm not too concerned about this on, I think they're readily available. I don't think that there's a backlog on them. So if we want to table this, that's absolutely fine. And I bring the council
I'll make a motion
more
to table
information.
this,
That's fine.
I'll make a motion to table this pending Bob, doing a little research on possibly a more utilitarian piece of equipment that would serve this purpose and others, and come back to the board for recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. 8C, Tri-State Bobcat Inc. quote for Bobcat UW 53.
I have one question. I see the writing on this. It says direct sale 42 to 45K and then an arrow down to 30,000. What does that mean? Because I'm seeing 49,000 on here, but what are we actually looking to approve here?
That was just my notes for the trade-in.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Their trade-in is $22,000, and I'm finding them between $42,000 and $45,000 on selling at private party, whatever you want to call that. So I think we're leaving a lot on the table by trading this in. So I'm not recommending the trade. And then I think the actual price of this would be in the $30,000 range.
So we purchase it outright and then sell ours outright then? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's what I would recommend.
Would we put that on the, like online to sell it, or how would, I think there's a online deal that we put most of our stuff on, don't we?
There is, but I want to find out if there's a reserve because I don't want
Right.
it's, going for $21,000 and it backfires on me.
Right.
So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. If we just put it on Wisconsin surplus, that we can set a reserve.
How long of a turnaround before we get the new one?
I'm not exactly sure what the turnaround time on this one is. But this would be more of a order it relatively soon so we have the other one. I didn't want to wait too long. In case our toolcat now is just fine. It works fine, but it's getting to that where it's starting to really cost us a lot of money in maintenance.
I'm just concerned that I'm fine with getting a new one and re-upping it. This one is 7 years old and going to be 8 going into next year. So that's fine. My concern is that do we have to set a floor at all in this motion to ensure that, or are we going to just look at biting the bullet at some point in time and dropping it down to like a $30,000 amount, and then our costs would be increasing? That would just reflect in our budget. We got capital outlay for that.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I just don't want to get stuck with 2 toolcats.
We don't have room for 2 toolcats.
Exactly.
I'll buy the other.
42,000, you can have it.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I take the 22,000, is that what you said?
There should be some up there at Bobcat there, Tri-City for you for sale for
Yeah.
that price.
Mhm. Right.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve purchase for the Tri-State Bobcat quote, Bobcat UW 53 in the amount of $49,997.84, and we will be putting the old toolcat up for sale, at auction. And trying to. What do you want for a low on that, Bob?
I wouldn't go below $40,000.
I agree.
Good. And with a floor of $40,000.
Second. I would probably suggest though, that you might clarify that you want to purchase the toolcat, but not with the trade-in, and we direct sale our trade-in with the floor of 42,000, because the 49,997 includes the $22,000 trade-in amount, Brandon.
Oh. Yeah. So, we'll have to, buy that for the 60 or 70,000. 50, yeah, 72,000, and then sell the cat for the current tool cat for no less than 30,000. 40,000.
That sounds better.
Still a second on that, Donnie?
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. 8D, discussion possible approval, John Fabric Tractor Co. quote for 14-inch snow pusher.
Yep, this was something we were looking at getting last year. We were going between two plows, and then by the time we were going to make this order, it would have been springtime, so we just held off. This is mainly to go on not mainly, it is exclusively to go on our payloader for downtown cleanup. Losing the ability of the Voyagers lot where the coffee shop and yoga studio are going to be, it makes our snow removal a lot more difficult with the equipment we have. So this would just expedite that day after snow removal cleanup. And we would utilize this snow storage down at Village Park parking lot.
Are there some other difficulties too with the plow that's on there? Something of like safety or something like that, or does this plow address that, or do we address that?
It doesn't. There's just our wing. You've got to be careful with it, so the operators know and they're comfortable with it. But if you're new, you could potentially roll a loader over. So it's very top heavy.
Bob, is this replacing the current snow pusher?
We don't have a snow pusher.
Oh,
Yeah, we just have a articulated plow.
with a bucket?
We have a bucket. Yeah, just
Oh.
a standard
Okay.
gravel bucket.
And then you had a grader, right? A lower blade, right? That dropped down for grading around the edges? Or am I screwed up on that?
We don't have a greater edge. Maybe explain it a little bit better.
Or like the wing that we were talking about that needed to be looked at when you're making corners?
Yeah, this wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Okay, all right.
I was on the same page. It sounds like I was on the same page here, Sonny. I wasn't sure if that addressed that.
Okay, all right. This will help complement and expedite snow removal in downtown?
Yes, very much so.
Make a motion to approve purchase of this 14-foot snow pusher in the amount of $10,900.
Motion by Kern, second by Dubek. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Discussion
you.
possible.
Appreciate that.
You got it.
Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Discussion possible approval, resolution 2025-09, intention to join the statewide public safety.
Interoperable.
I've never seen that word in my life. Interoperable communication system.
We're learning everything.
Do you have anything in the packet for that?
There's a, just said,
What's the resolution?
yeah. Some about megahertz,
Educate us, chief.
yeah,
This kind of goes into the county's 2029, 2030 upgrade where we're P25 VHF radio system to an 800 megahertz dual band radio, which is kind of in the same timeline as Wisconsin's network for like emergency management radio. So I don't know much about radios, but I can spit that out. So essentially this is a grant, that we would be eligible, I think it's like a 80-20 match. So we'd be eligible up to $50,000, if we are awarded this grant, for the purchase of the new radios. It's a state grant. It's competitive. And it's essentially saying that we are going to be compliant with this Wisconsin Emergency Management, Wisconsin.
by putting this resolution forward, this makes us eligible for that grant.
Correct. This is a part of the grant that we'd have to say that we're gonna jump through these hoops to be eligible for this grant. So this is part of the grant rating process.
Roger.
Chief, is this the same thing that the fire department's going through?
Correct.
Yeah.
Thought so. And these radios are expensive.
Yeah, about $10,000 piece.
But you can hear so much better, the audio is so much
It,
better.
well, it gives. I may be misinformed, but doesn't it allow like statewide communication via your radio?
Correct. That's what Wiscom is. It's like an emergency management piece, but they certainly are expensive. And you know, even with the new system, like we're gonna be probably trying to budget every 5 to 7 years cycling these out as well, just because there's so much technology in them now that they're kind of like obsolete, kind of like computers. And they have a shelf life now, unfortunately.
And if I understand it from our discussions with the fire department, we're gonna be forced into this eventually.
Correct.
So it's a get on board at some point game.
So the police department alone, we're projecting over $100,000, because we have to replace all of our squad radios, our portable radios that we were in our persons. You know, and then you look at the fire department and they're twice, 3 times the size of us. You know, and everyone in St. Clair counties also has to transition as well, so.
What's the plan on any federal assistance or besides is there anything besides that grant, or was there any, where every local municipality just gonna have to eat it?
Yes.
All right,
This is the first one that I feel like is kind of worthwhile, I guess you could say. Like there are some like Motorola federal grants that we're looking into as well, with some more hoops to jump through, which certainly isn't a guarantee, but this the state level grants a little bit more manageable. And it's not guaranteed that we get it, you know, after doing that.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution number 2025-09 so we can get in line for potential grant dollars.
Second,
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. 8F, discussion possible approval, authorize chief of police to begin recruitment and hiring process for officer. This went through public safety and finance, I believe, right?
It was discussed last month too, I thought, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, apparently there's some ambiguity on what we passed, Donnie.
Okay,
Through discussion, so I think this is just formulaic in terms of officially approving it.
I'd make a motion to approve, the chief to begin the recruitment process, hiring process.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion by member Marino and second by member Kern. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item 8G, discussion possible approval for general code quote for E-code 360.
And what, wasn't this just brought through finance a minute ago?
It was,
It was. So.
And you guys had a recommendation, did you not?
We did, sir. So our recommendation was, basically to bring it to this board to ponder. So many of our neighboring municipalities utilize this system and format. Our clerk recommends transitioning to this format at a, transitional cost of $2,350 as a one-time fee. And based on the clerk's recommendation, we would be able to go with the light version at an annual cost of $695.
currently we're paying annually, an annual cost of $2,500. So just changing, even just changing the first year, we still save $200. But then in subsequent years, we're gonna save like $1,200.
Are we getting the same, are we getting the same thing for that?
So
Lower, actually, isn't it?
the statement, Donnie, was that we are getting adequate needs met.
Okay,
And we are able to easily increase to the other standard and premium formats.
Okay.
If we desire additional services.
One thing that I noted, Donnie, while we were sitting here at finance, I did pull up Hudson's and they do have a folder, as Jessica had alluded to, that says new ordinances passed. So there is a record of stuff that's passed in the village board meetings that are yet to be put into the ordinances, so.
Yet
I
to
know
be
that's-
codified.
Yep, so I think that was a concern brought up in the past with some of the stuff that we were passing in the village board meetings wasn't
Yeah.
readily available to the public, and this satisfies that, and it's a significantly less cost.
That's at the premium level.
Well, the recommendation is to begin with the light, which is the $695 per annual. And then we as a board can revisit, determine per the clerk's recommendation if we need to increase our a la carte add-ons.
You know, we've discussed that with having the new changes, having some sort of a flag. Or so that people know that we've already changed something, just hasn't been codified. So,
That's in every tier. We offer that in every tier, so in the light.
It is even, okay, perfect.
Yep.
sounds like the light version it is.
I think that's a great starting spot.
Good, we had comment.
Yeah, if I could comment, I have a lot of experience with drafting legislation and regulations, and I was a little bit concerned about some of the things they talk about in here about how they're gonna do it. That they will make punctuation changes, they will make spelling changes. They will remove some of what they call editorial comment that was copyrighted by the existing code service. It seems to me that there's some judgment calls that are being proposed in here. And the cost of all of this is not very much, which makes me wonder if a lot of this is being done with AI rather than with thoughtful analysis. And I think you're gonna probably see some time required by your municipal attorney to monitor some of this stuff, because I have experience with what looked like very simple changes or very simple errors that ended up in really complicated litigation. So I was a little concerned that the transition that they're proposing has some hidden sort of oopses in it. That I read the proposal pretty carefully, because I have experience with this kind of stuff.
Is there any, thank you, Jen, I appreciate that. Is there any? Now Hudson is on this right now. Did they I'm assuming they transitioned, did they transition from Unicode or?
I don't know
from
what they
Civic Plus?
transitioned to, I think so, because their website was hosted by Civic Plus.
They say they noticed any changes or did they audit? Did they audit any
No.
of that when it was updated?
No, and in the proposal, it's like an add-on feature to go through all our codes. This initial transition doesn't do that. It just will bring everything that we have over.
It's just a copy and
Yeah.
paste.
Quite a savings though, especially if you look at it over many years. I wonder how much it would cost to have our attorney review those changes then. Probably an hourly fee, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's quite a big look. I took a look at it. It was a different municipality and it looked very user friendly. It looked great to me. Of course, I didn't go through A and B and compare changes. So that's a good point.
Were you able to have any discussion with Paul relating to this?
No,
Is there a timeliness
No.
to this deal, or can this be tabled till we do have a discussion with Paul?
well, we might lose service somewhere because we'll have to pay Civic Plus by November 1st.
Oh, okay. So there is some timeliness to this,
Mhm.
We either gotta pay the 2,500 now. Keep it as is, or-
But if we, sorry,
Go ahead, Don.
no,
Go ahead.
I apologize. Go ahead.
No, so it's either we pay the 2,500 now, and it sounds like we're in it for another year, and then we research this for another year, or we just go ahead and do it now.
They won't make any changes to our written codes.
It sounds like we want to tiptoe and, dip our toes into a different provider for this, right? At a significant cost savings.
Yeah, long term, I mean.
Right.
First year,
But
about the same.
if there's litigation,
I think what makes sense to me is to pass this and
Audit the records. Some type of audit,
put Paul on alert.
cause what
Yeah,
kind of. I mean, if we got building codes wrong or something like that. What
We
could
still
we,
have our 2 books, 5 books
still have a hard
of
copy,
our, mhm.
So we have a way to reference and call them on the carpet if they mess up the copy and paste.
we just have to be really sure of anything we add. Well, we just have to know that in case anything ever gets questioned, right? Something comes up in ordinance, we'd have to refer back to both copies.
Well, the village of Osceola is on this, along with the village of Dresser and the village of Luck, Balsam Lake, city of Amory. I'm just looking at all of these other communities that are served in our local vicinity, including Glenwood City, Hudson, and Baldwin. The only one I don't see on here is like New Richmond, so I can't think that all of these different village and municipalities are wrong, or they wouldn't have such a long, extensive list of communities they serve.
I think it's a good system. My concern is that the transition, the cost of the transition is relatively narrow, but they do say we're gonna look at punctuation. We may or may not remove bullets. I mean, the transition is the issue. Once you get on that new system, I think it's great.
Okay.
But it's getting there, and how many editorial decisions are they making when they do that? Because they say they're going to do some of those changes, and some of those changes may not look important. But the devil's in the detail on this kind of stuff, so. I mean, I think that it's a good idea to move to this new system. It's getting from here to there that is where I have my concerns. Well, that's it. Thank you.
I appreciate the information.
I think we were just, as part of this transition, we definitely should audit at least a few of them, maybe at least a few chapters. See if we find any errors.
You like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make them. Move forward with, transitioning to general code. E code 360. In the amount of 2350. And then, the light version at $600 annually.
$695.
$695 after that.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Crum, second by Marino. Any further discussion?
There's one
Aye.
question. Is this a budgeted item? And then we're gonna have that, we're gonna be seeing that savings then?
We currently pay a fee for it, Donnie. By moving to this from our existing, we'll net a $200 savings
Thank you.
And
This year.
this year.
And then my question is, this will be live 11/1.
Hmm.
When does
I'll
that
have to-
transition occur?
I will have to get those details and get them back to you,
Because
because I haven't signed anything yet.
we're going to be, they won't have any access to the ordinances as of 11/1, correct?
No. Incorrect.
Okay.
They will have access to the ordinances to get them transitioned.
No,
So there'll be some transition period
okay,
to be determined
Okay.
after Jessica gets us more facts.
now that she knows, we'll move forward with it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Item 8H, 2026 dental health and life insurance renewals. These were all up in the finance meeting last hour. All of them have gone up to some degree, albeit minimal in my opinion. Given current insurance hikes that I've personally experienced in private life.
But I think it ended up being 9% on the dental, 6.84% on the health, and then life went up $5
Per month.
per month.
Per month, full premium across the entire village employee staff
That's not per employee.
per policy.
Oh, great.
Is that, the $5 per month, what is that percentage wise?
I forget, Donnie,
$12 a month.
So about 5%.
So life went up, life 5%, dental
9.
9% and did you say 6% on?
6.84.
So roughly 7, 6, 7, okay. All right,
Average of about 6%.
that's best,
Yeah.
that's the best that that can be offered out for our group, right?
I'm sure it is.
They were actually, feedback we just got was from finance was they're actually pretty excited when they got those numbers back. They've seen lowest they've seen so far this year.
Dental for me went up just a little over 6% but that's a lock for 2 years.
Yeah. I had an approximate 15% increase on sticking with the same insurance that we had last year for my family.
Yeah. It's gonna get worse coming in the next couple of years. I just got a feeling.
Yep.
So approving the recommendation from finance was to approve these as presented, and then will that be all borne by on the next year's budget?
Yes,
Is there a percentage paid for by the employees on that, or is it all 100% paid for by the village?
So, and life insurance.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
dental and life are 100% by the village. It's copay on health.
Depending on which plan for health insurance that the employee picks, it's either they pay 10% or 12% of the premium.
Did you hear that, Donnie?
Yep. It's nominal on dental and life, I heard, and then whatever plan they pick is what it is for the health, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the 2026 dental, health, and life insurance renewals.
Chris Marino, second.
Motion by Crone, second by Marino. Any further discussion?
Do you know what the amount that's going to be, and it's going to on an annual basis for an increase based on current enrollees for this next year?
I can send it to you, Donnie. I don't have that in front of me.
Andrea said she'd send it to you. She doesn't have it readily available.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Unfinished business. Item 9A.
Move to table.
I'll second. Any further discussion on appointing an alternative member to Board of Zoning Appeals? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item 9B, discussion possible approval employee handbook update.
Couple questions on that. I read through this language that was proposed. That's all in red, correct?
Yeah.
And it looks to me like for the majority of the language, there was some highlighted versions in there, right? Where it says department manager or village clerk or treasurer, like on page 9. And then also on page 19, it says the village administrator. I don't know if we have a village administrator or a department or a manager. Are we moving in that direction? By the change on this language?
Where do you see administrator? Oh, I see it.
I'm sorry?
She sees where administrator was.
On page 19?
Yeah,
Under- Oh. And then also under election and witnesses and crime victim leave. I'm just saying, if we're gonna have a handbook, it should probably be consistent. I don't see anywhere in the handbook that we have a village administrator there. So I don't know, we need to remove that language and just leave in department head, or how you want to proceed with that.
You'd say to strike that because you would go to your department head, not supervisor and administrator.
I don't think
Would I,
Hold
should I, can I suggest that go back to the,
Last month.
This language, the red language was already approved in July. However, the employee handbook that was approved in July was an old version. So the purpose of tonight and last month was to get the correct version of the employee handbook besides this language approved.
you're saying this language was put in July?
Yes.
Wrong in July, we missed administrator. Consistent.
So we need to adopt it with the omittance of the administrator.
Can we look at page 19? The
I'm
election.
looking right at it.
Okay.
What you got?
So we're at the bottom of election officially, it talks about documentation from the municipal court verifying that you were paid. Is that a new process or?
Again, this is the language that was provided by Pete Whiteman, our HR representative from J Counter, which is required by whatever law, state or federal. I don't know all the details of this language. He just said this is now required in your employee handbook. So I think if you want to wait or have him explain that more, or have me reach out to him and have him explain some more. I
We
can
should
certainly
get-
do that.
All of our questions in one place, get them in one document. Sent over.
Yeah.
Are those the only two findings that we have right now, or do we want more time to review this?
There was, well, the department manager is highlighted on page 9, which I didn't know what that referenced to. I thought the rest of that for PWFA accommodation would be directed to department manager. Was that your department head? Because we have department head in on page 7. So I'm just looking for consistency here. We got names of things that are, we got village clerk and treasurer, department head, department manager, and village administrator. That's all. I'm just looking for what we have, and that's it.
Sounds like we have a few things that we're going to need to look at on this, so let's table this. I'll move to table the employee handbook update.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Crone. Second by Dubek. Any further discussion?
Let's just have any other updates that we want. Or any that we see already, let's send those over to Andrea right now, so we can get those included, and then just be ready to speak to any other ones. Nice catches, yes. So, yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item 9C, discussion possible approval, village holiday hours update.
One question I have, will there be any coverage potentially? Or is with the closing? I've heard complaints from, well, not major complaints, but I've heard individuals ask about the closing of the office on Fridays in the afternoon, but we've kind of debated this over and over, and I haven't seen or heard any major complaints on that after we've debated it. So with the closing of these holiday hours on these holidays, I'm fine with it as long as there's not an issue of coverage where somebody might, is there any need for somebody to need access to the village during those, day before them? Because I think giving adequate notice on that, people can plan accordingly.
The police are still here if they need to get in the building, I would say. Anything else, I would say could be pretty easily accessed online, any other forms,
And there's a Dropbox available.
yeah.
And to Donnie's point, if it's. If the information is given out well in advance, people can make arrangements and not come on those days.
So is it just
That
these
it is
two days,
important.
Columbus Day and Juneteenth, is it today?
No, they're gonna shut down the day, what, if it lands on like a Friday, they're gonna shut down on a Thursday.
At noon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would just do what they would usually do on a Friday,
Sure.
day before.
The staff work hard there. I gotta say, they've been tasked with some pretty daunting things. And if this is something that we can give to them, it's not like it's costing the village any more money. It's just giving them the opportunity to be with their family over the holidays. And as long as there's not an issue, that would just say, I would put it out there. If there was a contingency if there was an issue, we'd have to address it. But I'm perfectly fine with it the way, it's been proposed. And we give adequate notice out to all, if we could even maybe put it in the, notices out to the water so that all the village people know about it and they don't come in, like in a utility bill.
Second,
Is that a motion, Donnie?
I guess it is.
It's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
we gotta get you guys to work out. Yeah, start working out.
Item 9E, discussion only, 2026 budget priorities. Everyone have a chance to submit their priorities.
I'm looking at, yeah, Marino, I'm not seeing.
I did not. My two would have been, the new officer position and the radio purchase. I wouldn't do three, because those three are pretty substantial.
I noticed Jessica has 3 number ones. It's 111.
So I love that you guys are thinking long-term with the shop and the, I didn't really see those on the radar, but it's more of a longer-term goal, I think. But we should definitely start thinking, thinking and saving about those huge costs.
I think it's, I think we're gonna have to start moving on a decision for the new shop, the renovated village hall, and for the police and the admin building. I think that's gonna be coming up on us sooner than later. I think we should, I think we're probably gonna have to make a decision on that this year. Cause we've already been presented with a path forward and we kind of just gotta move or not on it.
I think I'll share my 2 cents on the matter. Some board, either us or a future board, is going to be tasked with biting the bullet on these major expenses, whether it be shop, village hall, police department, all in one, piecemealed out. It's just a matter of who wants to take that on and potentially be the people that pulled the trigger on getting it done. I think we should be really proactive in looking at what if you look at the data from the St. Croix housing study, what is very likely to occur in our community over the next decade. I'm a type of person that likes to do a lot of preventative maintenance, quote unquote. Instead of being behind the curve, I like to be ahead of the curve. I would definitely vote for looking at serious expenditures sooner than later. Because I feel like our facilities are literally falling apart. I got to witness a wonderful tour of our basement of this building on this fine evening, and
Creepy.
sadly, there are holes in the floor from this level to that level, along with old infrastructure that was not removed or dealt with. And it's kind of been Band-Aid over Band-Aid, and at some time, you gotta be the one to rip the Band-Aid off and start over. So I encourage us to take a long, hard look at what type of long-term investment we want to look at as a board for the next literally 20 to 30 years of our community on all fronts.
And the fire station's getting to be pretty full.
Fire station has the same challenges. So
We're gonna have to be involved in that as well.
we've historically, from what I have gathered, have operated on extremely narrow budgets. And that's great. We are in a position to borrow a lot if we so choose to do that. I don't think it makes sense for us to overextend or spend more than we can afford, obviously. We don't want to be in a bind where we're going to referendum to pay bills. But we need to really understand from Ellers and MSA what that looks like and know what the top dollar is that we can expend. And likely put a plan together to try and hit that mark.
And another part of this is, and what we're discussing at finance, that Andrea will have for us to discuss next week is. There's dollars put aside from impact fees that we've got to spend. And we have to spend those on either coming up with plans. We can use that money on coming up with plans and other stuff. So we've got money that we have to spend. That is for this growth.
We are in an unprecedented time in this village from the years, and Brandon probably could speak to this as well, as we've been around here for a long time, where there was no growth in this community. It was pretty much right here, and over the last 20 years, it's pretty much been the status quo. And yes, there's a bug climbing around on the screen. I see that. Yeah, so that's another thing that we're dealing with is, yes, the infrastructure that we're dealing with. I think the only and best way that we could actually address that is by this smart growth and looking at it and what are, utilizing the resources of growth we have to serve our community, and we are adding houses and developments, and 20 years ago we didn't have a lot of what we have now, and it's only going in the other direction, and it's up. So I don't disagree. I'm kind of excited to hear what steps there are, but I am going to say that I'm very frugal in the aspect of figuring out if we can get grants. I know there are some monies that can be from the state to help communities to expand, and putting together a plan and going after those monies and knowing people in the state that can help push that money our way is going to be a key part of any kind of plan to keep our taxes at a minimal.
Andrea, what I know this is just throwing a dart at a dartboard, but what are our projected general budget growth? How much is that growth going to be based on once we get everything built out? for the TIDs that we have approved. Is that,
Everything is all done?
yeah, in the next, probably, let's say, in the building over the next 5 years,
You're talking about numbers of rooftops, right?
yeah. Like, once we get wine staff done,
But I can tell you our net new construction was 7% from 24 to 25.
Yeah, we're looking at
Now
a
it's like
7 to 10% annual for the next 5 to 15 years.
Well,
so what that put us at, if we had 10%, let's just figure 10% over the next 5 years, what would that put us at for a budget increase there? Okay, that's a lot. Significant.
It is a lot, and Donnie, I really appreciate your comments, and all of your financial lens. One thing I want to put an exclamation point on with my cohorts on the board is none of this, not one thing, is going to get cheaper in the coming years. The longer we wait, the more expensive it will be. And I only say that as just a cautionary note to always be present of. It's something I face every day in my personal businesses. And I'm flabbergasted daily on looking at a business cost that in my head off of the hip, I'm like, that'll probably be $5,000, and the quote comes in at 25.
mhm.
And I'm just astounded at the increased cost of everything. And there is not a single cost in operating our village that is going to go down, not
Right.
one.
We're actually in a pretty good
Water,
position,
sewer.
we're in a pretty good position as far as like having land. That's available for us to build on that isn't within a TID. Cause that's the last thing we wanna do is put any of this village infrastructure on a TID.
Yep.
Andrea taught me that a long time ago.
Any other discussion on 9E? We have the budget meeting coming up on the 30th at 5 p.m. That is a finance and personnel budget meeting. I encourage all members to participate at whatever level they would like.
Is that the
Donnie?
final budget meeting?
That's the one that's been postponed twice now. And,
Yeah.
Only one.
once, sorry.
But
You
there will
missed
be
one.
at the village board on November 13th.
We'll have the full board budget hearing at the November meeting, Donnie.
Okay.
But I'd love for you to attend on the 30th if you're available.
I'll try my best.
Set up a Zoom.
That's next Thursday?
Yes,
Oh, if
Five
I have to be there, I will make sure if you need me there, I will be there.
Yeah, next Thursday at 5.
that would be great. All right, no motions needed, just discussion and awareness on budget priorities.
Seems like we're all pretty well aligned, parks, fire truck, roads, infrastructure.
I know.
I was gonna put free pizza Fridays for all residents, but didn't think it would. Give me support.
Here, he's not like there.
Chief was excited about.
I think a
Um,
congratulations to Apple Earth Cafe for opening on November 1st, huh?
Yes, very exciting news. Grand opening of the Earth Apple Cafe, November 1st. I will be there consuming large quantities of coffee and baked goods.
Is there ribbon cutting? Is this the ribbon cutting? Are we invited to this? Is there gonna be a big scissors shovel?
I don't know if there is.
Yeah, anyone know yet?
They had a groundbreaking with the shovels.
You know, we just.
That next thing is the scissors?
That's the chamber.
We'll see if that occurs, but Yeah,
Awesome.
baked
Good
goods
job.
are
Long time coming.
group, so.
Make a
People are
motion to adjourn?
Second,
I heard a motion from member Kern and a second by member Crone to adjourn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Take care, guys. Talk soon.
thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Jessica.